In this country, we're destroying our biodiversity so we can save a few minutes off car journeys. So that people who already have everything, the most privileged people anywhere, can have just a little bit more.
So I'm Dr. Charlie Gardner. I'm a conservation scientist. I spend much of my life trying to conserve tropical biodiversity in places like Madagascar, and I've always found it really difficult trying to work on conserving wildlife in tropical places, knowing that in my home in the UK we are horrifically bad at conserving wildlife. We talk about the important wildlife in places like Madagascar and the Amazon. We forget about the wildlife we have at home, and we have amazing, beautiful places like the Wensum Valley, which is full of biodiversity, full of nature. It's a place that brings much joy to people in Norwich and Norfolk, and yet we're allowing it to be destroyed.
My name's Nick Acheson, and I'm an environmentalist and conservationist, and I'm here because I care passionately about the River Wensum. I was born by the River Wensum. I lived for the first few years of my life by the River Wensum. I now live right beside the River Wensum, and the River Wensum is the single most important biological corridor that we have in Norfolk. We can't allow this river to be harmed by this model of ever building more, building bigger, more concrete, more money, more fuel. It's just not sustainable, and we are now in the stage of an environmental crisis where we just can't afford to do that anymore. So we're here to say no.
Now the bones of a young boy lie bleached on the shingle beach, washed to the shore from the old cemetery, and a few huddled homes sit on the cliff top below.
Setting out early, I've often been delighted to find a nice quiet bridge to sit and draw on, only to find, as the rest of the world wakes up, that it's a popular thoroughfare, especially for enthusiastically friendly wet dogs. It's very tempting to choose the sunniest day to go and sit by a river or a spring, but a slightly hazy or lightly overcast day is the best sort of day for drawing water. You'll find that very bright sunlight obscures more than it reveals.
So hi, I'm Ned. We're here from Stop the Wensum Link, but today's event is really about the rights of the River Wensum, celebrating this wonderful chalk stream that runs through the city of Norwich, and all of the precious creatures and wildflowers that it sustains and supports, and all of the amenities, walking, cycling, canoeing. So we're celebrating this and pointing out how important it is to protect it against damage and destruction and pollution.
Honour all plants that depend on the river. In the wetlands next to the river, common toad and common frog, uncommon crested newt, natterjack and pond frog. Elaborate courtship, hold me tight chorus of voices. Protect this river, care for this river, honour this river, rights of the river. Honour all insects that depend on the river.
For the past 11 years since I came back to the UK, I've lived 100 metres from this river, and I love this river. My very good friend Patrick Barkham, who should have been here today, is unwell, and he sends his best wishes and thanks to everybody, but he scared the willies out of me today by sending me a script of his speech, and I texted him and said, "A script?" Because I was planning just to stand here, having listened to everybody else, and make something up. And I'm afraid that's all you've got. If you are a green drake mayfly due to hatch next month, then a couple of days flitting exquisitely over the surface of the River Wensum is an eternity. If you're a large red damselfly, I saw one in the top of the park just this morning. This park is your entire world.